Hi, I'm Evan Mackey, and this is History in the Making. Today, we are talking about a four-wheeled, beautiful, well-oiled, metallic stroke of genius, known as...
From 1870 to 1914, the world was in the Second Industrial Revolution. On January 29, 1886, in Mannheim, Germany, Carl Benz patented what was known as the first vehicle powered by a gas engine. Hey, nice mustache. The Benz patented motor wagon is arguably the first automobile since it was the first vehicle to use an internal combustion engine. Benz was fascinated with horseless-drawn carriages and wanted to create something that could transport people without effort. Previous self-propelled vehicles relied on steam engines, which were heavy, slow, and lumbering. The internal combustion engine was light enough for passenger transport. The Benz motor wagon promised personal freedom and independence from train schedules. The invention of the automobile revolutionized transportation socially, economically, and geographically. Cars gave individuals new freedom to choose where they lived, worked, and spent their leisure time. Vehicles became powerful symbols of status and identity, deeply influencing music, film, and popular culture. Mobility improved access to medical care in rural areas, but also introduced new risks, leading to roughly 1.3 million road fatalities worldwide each year. Today, over 4 million people work directly within the automobile industry. Not only has cars manufacturing become one of the largest industries in the world, it has also been the driving force behind the growth in oil and gas industry. Of course, over the years, horse breeders and buggy makers have taken a hit. But modern cities are often designed for cars rather than people, with up to 50% of lands in the U.S. dedicated to roads, parking lots, and service stations. However, the ability to commute long distances also led to suburbanization as people moved away from dense city centers to residential areas. Massive highway systems like the 1956 Interstate Highway Act physically carved through the landscape to connect distant places.
Now, starting the 1886 model was a dangerous multi-step process. A driver would have to manually oil parts, adjust airflow regulators, and turn a heavy rotating wheel called a flywheel. If turned wrong, the flywheel could snap back and break a wrist. In contrast, cars nowadays have keyless ignitions that all you have to do is push a button. Also, cars didn't have a steering wheel or pedal in 1886. Instead, they used a horizontal bar for steering and a single-handed lever for braking and accelerating. In 1886, Benz automobiles were only about 265 kilograms, but this 2021 Nissan Rogue is almost 1,500 kilograms, which is still way below the national average for family vehicles. Now, the first automobile had a top speed of less than 10 miles an hour, but this car has a top speed of 116 miles an hour, which was recorded by the manufacturer. Finally, the first automobile ever was only available to a few people until they started being mass-produced in the 1900s. But as of 2023, over 92% of American families have a car. Now, despite these differences, the original automobile was only $1,000, which is nowadays equivalent to $30,000. But a new 2021 Nissan Rogue costs anywhere from $25,000 to $37,000, depending on if you get it upgraded.